Hello everyone, welcome back to another session. 360 interview preparation session. Today is back. I hope you are all doing great. Without wasting any time, let's get into the interview preparation session. Yeah. The very first question is, how do you handle missing or corrected values in data sets? If you know the answer, please try to answer in a live comment session. And anyway, we will be discussing the answer in a minute. If you know the answer, please try to answer in the live comment session. We will discuss answer in a minute. Okay, let's discuss the answer. Yeah, one of the easiest way to handle missing or corrected values is we can drop those rows, but most of the time these are not recommended because we will be losing so much data. And you can do imputations as well. Like we will be having when it comes to the numerical data, we'll be doing mean imputation, mode imputation, depending on the requirement. Let me explain it clearly. Yeah, when we have missing numerical values, we can do mean imputation. There are other imputation techniques also there, but it depends on the data frame to data frame and what kind of data you have. Based on that, we will go for different imputation techniques. When you have categorical data, we will be going for mode imputation. So it is not compulsory to go for any imputation. If in that particular data set, if it makes sense to do imputation, then only we will be doing the imputation. Yeah, so Prabhat, we won't be see most of the time we won't be considering the dropping of this column. But yeah, if we are the most number of values are missing, well, in that case we can do it. So what is the abbreviation of CRISP-DM? I think I've already shown you the answer. Anyway, what is the abbreviation of CRISP-DM? Please try to answer in the comment section. Yes, I Kiran. Yeah, we will be replacing with the mean values. It depends on the data frame to data frame and what kind of data you have. What is the abbreviation of CRISP-DM? Please try to answer in the comment live comment session. Anyway, we will be discussing in a minute. It is cross-industry standard process for data mining. And the very next question, how many steps we have in CRISP-DM and what are those? How many steps we have in CRISP-DM and what are those? Yeah, I've already shown you the, how many steps we have. You have to tell what are those steps. Yeah, Vaibhav. Cross-industry standard process for data mining. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that is absolutely right. How many steps we'll be having in CRISP-DM? Name those. Yeah, Venki, try to name those. What are the 6 steps? Yes, Srikanth. Business understanding, understanding, data pre-processing, model building, deployment. Yeah, absolutely. We'll be having 6 steps. Those are business understanding, data understanding, data preparation, modeling, evaluation, and deployment. The very next question is, what is feature engineering? Try to explain taking one example. What is the feature engineering? Yeah, Venki. Yeah, that is absolutely right. What is the feature engineering? Try to explain using one example. I think I have already explained this feature engineering in the previous class, previous session. Yeah. Well, let's discuss what exactly the feature engineering is. Feature engineering is a process of transforming data to increase the predictive performance of the machine learning. Let me explain this clearly. Let's say you have these are all independent variables. I mean the inputs, and we have output as a. If these input variables, we can make something out of it and create a new feature. Let's say, like I have explained you guys in the previous session, we have time and distance as an input. From these two variables, we can extract one, naming speed. Like that, you can do the feature engineering, just extracting the new information from the given inputs in order to increase the prediction, like accuracy of the label or output variable. Yeah, Venki, absolutely. We explained you the same thing in the previous session. Yeah, extracting features from the raw data. Yeah, that is correct. Then the very next question. What is the imputation? You need to explain using the one example. What is imputation? You need to explain using one example. Please try to answer in the live comment session if you know the answer, or else we will be discussing the answer in a minute. Yeah, Venki. Yeah, that is correct. And Vaibhav as well. For categorical data, we use mode. For numerical data, we will be using mean or median. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely correct. Imputation is a technique used for replacing the missing data with some substitute value to retain the most of the data information of the data set. Like Vaibhav said, we will be using mean or median for the numerical data, and For categorical data, we will be using the mode. Yeah, Supravat, that is absolutely right. Yes. Okay, let's move on to the next question. How do you define mode? What do you mean by the mode? Like when the case of categorical data, we will be replacing the missing values with mode, right? What exactly the mode? Try to answer in the comment section. We will be discussing the answer in a minute. Yeah, Venki, Anita, Srikanth, Supravat. Yeah, that is correct. In categorical variables, most frequently occurred value or most occurred value. The mode is known to be the most frequently occurring value commonly used for working on categorical data. Yeah, most of you guys are correct. Mention disadvantage of mean. Try to answer in the comment section. We will be discussing the answer in a minute. Yeah, Vaibhav. Yeah, absolutely, that is right. The biggest disadvantage of the mean is it gets influenced by the outlier. When you have extremely high value, let me explain this way. I'll explain it clearly. See, when you have a data and where you can say you have 5 students. Sorry, please don't mind. There is construction work is going on. So yeah, that is why there is so much noise behind. So let's say you have 5 students marks. Yeah, sorry guys, there is so much noise behind. That is why I put myself on it. So when you have extreme values in your data set, it will definitely affect the mean value. Let's say you have mean value is equal to 30 and the extreme value is about 100 and something like that. When you have just small data set, like 5 to 6 people are there. In that case, actual mean is 30, and if you have one of the value is 100, then it will definitely change value to 35 or 40. In that case, the main intuition of the data will definitely affect. That is why we say that means get influenced by the outlier. That is the biggest disadvantage we have. Yeah, let's move on to the very next question. Mention all the measures used to analyze the dispersion. Mention all the measures used to analyze the dispersion. Okay, let's discuss the answer for this question. Yeah, the measures used for analysis of dispersion, that is variance, standard deviation, and range. What does right skewed mean? Explain what does right skewed means, and if possible, take an example and explain. Yeah, Vaibhav and Venki, you are correct. What does right skewed mean? Yeah, guys, most of you are right. Variance of mean is greater than median mode. Yeah. Suprabhat, it is not about kurtosis, it is about skewness. Yeah, skewness is a measure that represents the mass of the data distributed towards the right side of the corner. Let's say you have a data, something like this. If your data is in this case you can say the data is right skewed because most of the outliers are present on the right side. You can't really directly say the outlier, you can say extreme values. Now let's move on to the next question. Does standard deviation get influenced by the outliers? Does standard deviation get influenced by the outliers? Try to answer in the live chat session, or else we will be discussing in a minute. Yes, Vaibhav, yeah, you are right. Yeah, the distance of the data point from the center would be affected by outliers. So yeah, standard deviation would be get affected. Yeah, it is affected. What is the confusion matrix with respect to the machine learning? The very next question. Yeah, Vaibhav, that is absolute. Yeah, that is right. That is correct. And when it is get affected by the outliers, it will. Try to answer the next question. What is the confusion matrix with respect to machine learning algorithm? Yeah, it is an evaluation matrix when it comes to classification. Srikanth, yeah, when it comes to binary classification, it will be the 2 by 2 matrix, but it is not always 2 by 2 matrix. We will be dealing with multi-level classification, right? So it won't be 2 by 2 matrix always. Confusion matrix or error matrix, it is a specific table that is used to measure the performance of the algorithm. It is mostly used in supervised learning. In supervised learning, it's called the matching matrix as well. Yeah, Vaibhav. Yeah, that is correct. It is a matrix of actual and predicted outcome. Yeah, it helps in finding the accuracy of the model. Can you guys tell what will be the accuracy formula based on confusion matrix? What is the accuracy formula based on confusion matrix? What is the accuracy formula based on confusion matrix? Try to answer in the comment section. We will be discussing the answer in a minute. Yeah, Vaibhav, you can say it is some of the diagonal elements, but which diagonal elements we are considering? Yeah, both can be, see here, both can be considered as diagonal elements, right? Yeah, these are diagonal elements, these are also diagonal elements. Which one you are considering? So the correct answer is, yeah, Venki, that is right. True positive plus true negative by total. True plus true negative, false positive plus false negative. It is the accuracy formula based on confusion matrix. Let's move on to the next question. When will you use classification over regression? Or you can explain when will you use classification and when will you use the regression? How do you decide whether it is a classification or regression problem? Yeah, Srikanth, that is correct. True positive plus true negative by total. That is true positive plus true negative plus false positive plus false negative. When will you use classification over regression? Or you can say when will you use classification and when will you use the regression? How do you decide whether it is a classification or regression? Try to answer in the comment section and we will be discussing in a minute. Yes, Srikanth, that is absolutely right. When output is continuous value, we use regression. If output is discrete, we'll be using the classification. Yeah, Suprama, that is correct. Maybe it should be continuous. Yeah, classification is used when your target is categorical, while regression is used when your target variable is continuous. Though both techniques belong to the category of supervised machine learning algorithm. Yeah, here classification examples are also given, predicting whether it is yes or no, and estimating the gender, whether it is female or male, breed of animal, classification of images, type of colors. This all comes under the classification. When it comes to the regression, sales, how much sales and how much profit you are getting, and how much score that team has yield. Now predicting the amount of rainfall, how much rainfall is gonna. So these are all comes under regression. The next question is, what is random forest? You guys should tell whether it is comes under supervised or unsupervised. You have to tell that one also. Yeah, let's discuss the answer. Yeah, random forest is supervised machine learning algorithm, as we know. It is generally used for the classification problem. We can use this for the regression as well. It operates by constructing multiple decision tree during the training phase. The random forest chooses the decision of majority of tree as the final decision. So in the random forest, we'll be using the multiple trees. In case of decision tree, we will be using single decision tree, and the random forest, yeah, that is why it is called forest. We will be using multiple decision trees based on, let's say, we are using 5 decision tree, and we are using for the classification. In each tree, we got output. Let's say we are having the y variable is 0 or 1, and the first tree given as the output as 0, and the second tree given as an output is 1, and third is 1, and fourth is 0, and fifth is 1. Based on the majority of voting, the random forest takes the decision. The random forest chooses the decision of the majority of trees as the final decision. As a result, it will give the classification as a 1. This is about the random forest. The very next question is, what do you understand by the F1 score? What do you understand by the F1 score? And we have a formula for this. F1 score please try to comment that formula as well. F1 score formula. Yeah, Venki, that is true. It is supervised and classification. It is a bagging, yeah. It comes under bagging. The random forest comes under bagging. Yeah, Srikanth, that is absolutely right. RF is comes under the bagging. Yeah, Srikanth, Shubham, yeah, you guys are absolutely right when it comes to the formula. F1 score is a metric that combines both precision and recall. It is also the weighted average of precision recall. So when we don't know whether we should use precision or recall, then we will be using F1. It balances both precision and recall. And when it comes to the formula of F1 score, 2 into precision into recall by precision plus recall. Yeah, Srikanth. Yeah, Srikanth, that is true. We use F1 when we are not sure which one to consider. So it kind of balances, like F1 score balances both precision and recall. Yeah, the last question. What do you understand by type 1 and type 2 error? What do you understand by type 1 and type 2 error? Please try to understand. Please try to answer in live chat, and we will be discussing in a minute. Yeah, sorry, there is so much noise. That is why I was on mute. Okay, yeah, when it comes to type 1 and type 2 error, yeah, you guys are answering regarding the confusion matrix, but it is for the hypothesis. In hypothesis, type 1 error is, it occurs when the null hypothesis is true and we reject it. In that case, type 1 error is occurs. And when it comes to the type 2 error, when null hypothesis is false and we accept, in that case, type 2 error is occur. So that is where confusion matrix that whoever answering the false positive and false negative. Yes, Srikanth, that is correct. Yeah, this is all for today, guys. I hope you guys learned something, and we'll be back with some more questions in the next session. Until then, have a nice day and bye.